What's up, y'all? It's your host, Sensei AK. I'm back again with another episode. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, because that's what keeps these lights on. They're very expensive and very bright. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. Let's start it off with there has been some scandals. Okay, the NBA is wilding. The NBA is wilding bad. Oh, Adam Silver might have to do his best David Stern impression if he wants to be able to get out of this as staying as the head commissioner of the NBA, because this is getting ridiculous. Okay, so Cash Patel went on live national television and said there are NBA players and former players that are working in tandem with the mob to commit millions of dollars in fraud. And this has taken the internet by storm. It was so big, it almost overshined the 7-7 Wemby. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay, so this is a quick rundown. Okay, 30 people were indicted, and some of these folks were in connection with the Mafia, and specifically 4 major crime families: the Gambinos, the Giovesi, and Luce's family. All together was plotting in tandem with a couple of NBA players. And you know what? And the names that they were pulling out the hats to be involved was some of the who's who and what is going on factor. Okay, there's two major scams that was going on. Number one, poker. Okay, so allegedly, the mob was using NBA players as a way to draw in guests for a celebrity poker game. Is the easiest way that I could do it. But what they would do, they would run multiple scams during the games. For example, they were having card readers. They were having readers that would take the card, would count them, and then they'll send that information to a person on the outside that would run the math and then send the information to the quote-unquote quarterback inside the poker game to let them know who actually had the highest, who had the strongest hand, and then they would move based off of that information. They also had tech such as folks was having glasses that was reading the cards. That's crazy. There was so much moving parts that they allegedly, victim John Doe, he lost reportedly $1.8 million in one game. These are scams that was reaching the millions of dollars. It was crazy. And the second conversation that's being had is the interfering and the insider trading nature that was going on in the NBA. So the best way I can explain it, okay. I'll explain it using one of the players. Another player that was being named in all this was Terry Rozier, and he allegedly was working with the Mafia, where there was a specific game where he told the Mafia, like, okay, I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to sit out for the rest of the quarter, bet my unders. And guess what happens? He doesn't make his averages, and guess what? They get a payout of up to, I think it was like $200,000, give or take. Crazy. And you know what else makes that crazy? This was a prop bet. Why is that important? Okay, so back in the day, before everything and everyone and every facet of the internet was participating in sports betting and gambling, you used to be able to only bet on, well, is the New York Knicks gonna win, or is the Los Angeles Lakers gonna win? But no, literally every single part of the game is bettable, and there's so many moving parts that in totality you wouldn't recognize that as being important, because this is Terry Rozier. He's a starting point guard, but he's not like a Kyrie. He's not a Steph Curry. He's not a main stake player. He's a guy that's good enough to be in the league, but nothing crazy. And here is why, and this bringing that up. It feels weird because it feels like if someone of that caliber can be connected to this, what is really going on? Oh, I forgot. One of the main people that were named in the poker games back then that I was talking about earlier was Chauncey Billups. Allegedly. This is crazy because he was the head coach of an NBA team. And if you were moving here, what is stopping for any other potential illegal betting systems that's going on? Because of basketball is integral, or at least not just basketball, but sports are integral, especially for American society, because those are the only things that you're supposed to be able to look at this and be like, okay, this is chance. Nobody is cheating me. This is not WWE. This is not fantasy. This is somebody that's trying their hardest to beat another person, and I can sleep well at night knowing that I am not being rigged. And you know what's crazy? Other leagues have had this problem. Baseball had this problem back, I think, in the 60s. Beyond the point. Oh, I'm looking at some of the gear. What is some of the gear that they were using? Okay, to start off, they were using so much tech to cheat, not to mention using tech to mark cards with card readers. They're using eyewear to see and read cards. They were also using decoy cell phones, and they had this advanced reader that was able to tell what the strength of the card would be in folks' hand using math. First of all, this kind of reminds me of, have you ever watched Family Guy? And Joe does his song where he's like, and now what does the government have? Because this feels like out of a movie out of Sky. This feels like a movie out of Spy Kids at this point. And as I'm watching this, some of the weird things that starts sticking out to me the more that folks talk about it. Number one, you're telling me my taxpayer dollars are going towards this, but I can't get the list. This is getting ridiculous. Number two, how long has this been going on? And when it comes to the idea that this could be a deeply ingrained aspect of the NBA, because of the NBA has had a lot of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, where they've removed refs. They've actively had conspiracies around something as simple as Cooper Flag ending up in Dallas, or the Los Angeles Lakers magically getting a bunch of fouls in 2001 to beat the Philadelphia 76ers. There has been rumors of alleged gambling, alleged cheating that is in the NBA that they have made a concerted effort to remove. But now I'm sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, and not even to mention they have players, there's head coaches involved, and then there was also Damon Jones, former NBA player. He's also being indicted in this as well, being mentioned as a big co-conspirator. One of the incidents they were talking about, so he was the assistant coach way back when, and he gave out some information allegedly where one of their star players were not going to play for the night. Number three, interesting. And then as the conversation goes on, and then you start seeing them describe the player that they're talking about, and it looks and sounds a lot like the guy, LeBron James. I'm looking around. So if you're able to even add the guy into this conversation, that not only muddies the product, but it muddies so much people's money and trust. That is the main thing of this that I'm trying to really get at. This muddies the trust that a lot of players have, or not players, that a lot of fans have when it comes to interacting with the NBA, because what is real and what is fake. I'm very interested in seeing the way that Adam Silver is able to sway this storm and seeing if he's going to be able to get in front of this, because this is not what you want to be talking about, especially when you have a product as big and as great as the NBA. And two, I wonder if they're going to slowly start stepping away from a lot of these gambling ads and gambling companies and prop bets and things of that nature, because of it's truly ingrained into the sport to begin with. Because of, honestly, before this video, you're probably going to get an ad for a DraftKings or some other app that's promoting some type of gambling, because it's getting to the point where you cannot have sports without props. You cannot have sports without gambling. And that it's going to be it's going to be interesting the way that they're able to separate the two. But yeah, wild, just wild. This has been a wild day. This has been a wild day, and honestly, I feel like that's what's been played into. Everybody has been hooping today. Not even today. Everyone has been hooping so far this season. The amount of 30 points, the amount of 40 points, and it's funny because the way the internet has been reacting to this has been tickling my fancy because of the amount of folks that have been looking out and been like, no wonder y'all been selling my parlays. There was this one bookie, one of these collection agents, right, that goes on and like gets these folks money. They're like, oh yeah, no, some of your favorite athletes owe us money, and you know what? If they can't owe, we make them do something else. This one dude was talking about, oh yeah, no, we made this one NFL player every 8 plays, just go ahead and drop the ball. Go ahead and just like drop early. You see a touchdown, you better run out of bounds. You do not score. And I wonder how many people are truly involved in this conversation of betting. This stuff is just crazy. It's crazy. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't even bet for real. Because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, if I gave y'all 200, I put down 200, and it turns out y'all have a side bet going on where y'all make $250,000, and I'm watching, I'm thinking, why would you do this in the first place? Because of y'all are already breaded, especially when it comes to NBA. Terry Rozier just signed a $100 million contract. Why would you do this to yourself? It feels like the only thing that could happen from going out your way to gamble is you lose the big cheddar. You lose the big cheese. Because, like, let's say $100 million contract and the government takes 60. So you get $40 million untaxed. He just moved to Miami, 4 years Miami. Let's say $5 million. $5 million of nonsenseness gets paid for out of your checks. Let's say $5 million. That should be enough for extra cars, extra girlfriends, extra trips, extra. I don't even think he has does he have a kid? I think he might have two, but that's beyond the point. All these little extra money, and you're still holding $25 million, and you still blowing all that out. Why would you do that? You're in line to get another contract. All you gotta do is stay in the league. Wemby needs to get paid soon. You know what that's gonna do? That's gonna re-up the whole basketball economy, because that's one of the things that be blowing me, because every single year the CBA signs a crazy deal without a doubt, right? It gets to a point where you can bet on it, even in years like this year, when we were approaching a lockout, where there was players that were left holding the bag because they're trying to get as much money as possible, and they're like, well, we don't want to pay you, this other team doesn't want to pay you, so we're just gonna like wait until like how much money we could really get you. And then you get a case like Jonathan Kuminga, where he also gets, I think, what was it, 2 years, $45 million or something crazy like that. And that is what you are jeopardizing from getting the big guala. And if it's like you're honing and you needed more money, bro, score more points. You play for a team that sucks. Your team sucks. Your team ass. Your team is booty. You could literally do it yourself. You went from averaging, what was this, like 16 points? You could take 5 more shots a game. Who else is taking those shots? Jimmy is gone. Bam don't want to shoot. What are we talking about? The main guy is Tyler Hero. You're telling me that you can't average 24 next to Tyler Hero averaging 25? What are we talking about? Ooh, you can't game plan for an extra 4 fouls a game? Don't give myself a headache. Let me not give myself a headache. And you know what? If push comes to shove, you can't run ads in one of the most wasteful cities in the world. You can't run ads. You can't go to the local car dealership and get an extra like 500,000 for putting your face on the board. You can't go cha sliding on what's a podcast that be giving people bread. You can't go to Barstool and try to get yourself some bread that way. You can't talk to one of your homies and get on a pod. Like, what are we talking about? We're losing recipes. We're losing recipes, man. I hope all this alleged freedom, guys. I hope y'all good, because this is crazy, bro. I love Terry Rozier, bro. Terry Rozier's be hooping. my goats. And one of the reasons, man, I like Terry Rozier because he always be on teams that suck, and he'd be like, nah, don't worry, bro. I'll get us to 500. And I appreciate folks that's always ready to hoop and try their hardest, because that's all we need, just folks trying. Some Wemby talk before I get out of here. Let's do some Wemby talking this. Bro, Wemby feeling like the GOAT already. Honestly, I do not blame everybody from being scared. Last year, I was telling folks, if Wemby stays exactly how he is, he doesn't do nothing else, he's easily top 10 player in the league. His defensively alone, he does exactly what Rudy Gobert does. But imagine Rudy Gobert that's able to average 20 points a game. He looks like a Rudy Gobert with hands that work. He looks like Rudy Gobert with hips. He swivels. He really rocks. Bro, last year, I was like, man, I could see best player in the league, bro. No. Last year, I was looking at him. I'm like, you know what? On the high side, you could really touch that top 6. I can see you being as useful as Kevin Durant. He goes in the offseason. He said, yeah. Let's go ahead and up everything. I'm going to become a scorer. I'm going to become aggressive. I'm going to become better as a shooter. You know what? Instead of shooting, I'm going to act like I know how to. Instead of shooting, he said, I will rather learn how to hit y'all with shoulder, milli rock, lean to the backside. Instead of learning how to sit there and shoot threes, he said, I will be in the post. He said, I will be in transition. He's taking games from all the greats. Like, I was talking about this a couple months ago when he was training with the Mugs. He was training with KG. He linked Tim Duncan for something. He linked Tim Duncan. Fuck do you got with Tim Duncan? What you got with Hakeem? What do you need? He was kicking it with Monks. What is over there? You was looking for peace? Why? What you need? Why? First game, he goes against. First game, that might honestly be the craziest game I have ever seen. That might be the craziest game I have ever seen, at least physically. They were talking about I saw a clip where KG's like, yeah, bro. He plays like Shaq and KD combined, and Paul Pierce those. And what he tells is like, nah, bro, you kidding, bro. Nah, bro, you yapping right now. You yapping. All KG says is, bro, you ain't watching film. And everybody in the comment section was like, yeah, bro, he ain't watching film. He don't know what he's talking about. Bro, what are we talking about? There was a move in I don't even want to talk about the other games. I just want to sit on this Dallas one. He did something so crazy. I'm looking back. I'm trying to figure out, who is you feeling like? My brother. Everyone was talking about the game where he rips through. He's dribbling. And then he goes. No. They're talking about, everyone in the world was talking about, oh, yeah, he got this crazy block that he comes down. Twing, sidestep. Hits the 3, falls down. And then he does this. Everyone's like, yeah, that was the move. My brother in Christ, he was missing out on real ball. When I knew the league was cooked, saying high post, right? And then the person that's guarding him is just like 6'9", 6'10", dude. And when I tell you, up fake, oh my God, up fake, Brody jumps. You know why he jumps? Because Wemby's a goddamn shooter, and he rips through. And instead of just dunking it on AD, he says, up and under, and then he dunks it behind. First of all, who are you feeling like? What is going on? Bro dropped, I think he dropped like 40 and 15. And when I tell you that 40 points he dropped, that game looked like he could legitimately went and got 60. He was moving like he was not going at full speed. And that's what's really crazy. The one crazy three that he hit was the only 3-pointer that he scored that whole day. So Brody went and put up 37 points of straight bucks. 37 of straight bucks. And I think he didn't have crazy free throws. I think he had like 12. So you telling me, bro, you gave these motherfuckers 25 straight bucks, and it was like fades, it was up and unders, it was and ones, it was dunks, there were so many plays that's like, oh, he could have dunked that. He could just dunk everything. It felt like you were watching a 2K player that had the sliders up on everything, turned off injury, and then said, you know what, 7-7. And folks is talking about he grew a little bit too. I'm like, what is going on? He made AD look so childish. And speaking of AD, he wasn't doing this against nobodies. He was doing this against guys, like real defenders. The Dallas Mavericks are one of the best defensive teams. Well, they should be one of the best defensive teams in the league. And he was sending them boys to the chopped cheese maker. He was making them boys regret their whole decision to step on that court. He was pulling up and trying to pull down, bro. So they was hooping in something crazy last night. Wemby, yeah, it will be very, very, very hard for Wemby not to be a top 5 player when it's all said and done. I cannot hold you. I cannot, will not. Yeah, bro, you was one of them.